Good morning, everyone. I hope I am audible. All right. All right. So here we are talking about preparing for IES along with your jobs. Before we start talking about this IES with job, I would like to ask a very simple question. How many of you are genuinely in job? Because some of you who were texting backdoor entries and things like that, I don't think they are the people in job. They seem to be the people who are like basically everywhere present to waste their and everybody else's time, right? Those who are not able to listen to me, they have to click on the link join with audio. Great. So guys, when we talk about people in job, we always talk about two things: time and money, right? You are earning money and you have lack of time. Fine. So let us try to understand that how the two things can be balanced. Today I will be explaining lot many things to all of you, but while explaining these things, I would be asking you few basic questions, and once you answer them, only then I will be in a better position to understand that what I can help you, how I can help you, and you will be in a better position to understand that how you can take this leap in your life, right? So a very basic question to all of you, those who are working, the working people, a very simple question for you. One, you know that you are working hard, you are earning money, and with that money you can enjoy your life to the fullest, right? Every weekend you can go for parties, every weekend you can meet your friends, you can go for outings, anything and everything you can do with this. But still, at times you make compromises, you save a penny or two, you save money, and then you invest that money either into the mutual funds or into the stock markets or other things. Why you do it? Why don't you exhaust all your money and enjoy your life to the fullest? Who has seen the tomorrow? Can anybody tell me that? Very good. To secure your future, you want to save the money. Very good. And when you put that money into share market or into mutual funds, are you sure that the money will up every time grow? There is always a risk involved in it, and you are always ready to take that risk, right? That's the beauty of this life. Now come back and talk about your IES dream, right? You say we are doing job, we do not have time. Yes, you have time, but if you make a compromise for a year or so and you devote more time to your studies instead of going to parties, going for outings, and balancing the time, you are not investing money for your future, you are investing your time for your future, right? And here the uncertainty is there. Yes, as it is with the stock market or with the mutual funds, so do it is here. It is there, right? There is a possibility that you may not become an IAS officer. But now compare two things. You put money in stock market, perhaps money grows, perhaps money doesn't grow. If it doesn't grow, it's okay, you stand to lose your money, right? At the same time, if you invest your time, perhaps you become an IAS or you do not become an IAS. But where the money has been lost, it is lost. But if even if you do not become an IAS, at least you become better knowledgeable person. You can better become knowledgeable person. Am I right, guys? So this was my first idea for you guys to understand that preparing for IAS needs only and only management. It involves your commitment. It is not something that is some like an idea which is totally alien to those people who are doing jobs. No. Now, if the first idea is clear, then the second idea. The second idea here is we have to be very, very realistic when we start this journey, when we start preparing for this job, right? That we want to be an IES, we have to be very realistic. If I say I am doing a job and I want to prepare for IAS, but I cannot give more than 2 to 3 hours at max in a day. At max in a day, I cannot give more than 2 to 3 hours. Then tell me, how can I prepare? My answer is very simple. My dear friends, it will not be possible in 1 year. No, it won't be. Perhaps not even in 2 years. But if you have that determination, start the baby steps for this preparation. I will explain you what is the pattern of the exam, what is the syllabus of the exam, what books are required, and how you can make that strategy. But before that, you must be very, very realistic. When I say you have to be realistic, what I mean by it, you have to understand that I cannot give more than this time. As we always try to, I have this much of income, I cannot invest more than this into mutual funds or share market. I have to sustain with my life as well. It is not that if I earn 30 40 thousands, I invest 20 25 thousand in the share market or stock market. No, I invest 10%, 20% of my income into these things, not all of it, right? But at the same time, many of us, what we do, the moment we get a job, we try to get a car for us or a bike for us, or we buy a new music system or a new screen for our homes, and we start getting EMIs, right? We get all these things on EMIs. Please make the EMI of your time now if you have a dream, and it is doable. You can do it only and only with planning. All right. So now coming to the pattern of the exam. So we will be starting. So we will be talking about the pattern of the exam, the syllabus, essential book list, and how and when to start, right? This is on the agenda for the day. Now, when we talk about this exam, paper one, first step is prelim exam. In this exam, there are two papers. One is general studies, GS, and the other is civil services aptitude test, CSAT, civil services aptitude test. Both these papers are for 200 marks. These are objective papers for 200 marks each. So together they make 400. But out of this 400, the paper 2 civil services aptitude test, it is only and only a qualifying paper. You have to only score 33% marks in this. The marks are not added to the merit, right? The merit is on the basis of your GS. Out of that 200 of your GS exam, you score your merit and you get a call for your mains. Now, when I say pre-exam, it is MCQ based paper, 200 marks, two papers. Paper 2, that is CSAT, is only qualifying, whereas paper 1 GS, you get your merit. Remember another very important thing, that both these papers carry negative marking, 1/3 negative marking. If you score a wrong answer, if you mark a wrong answer, you get your marks deducted for it, right? So this negative marking is the most crucial thing that we need to keep in our mind, because if we forget about this negative marking, then we will never be able to get a call for mains. So remember this always, that there is a negative marking and I will not try to play over smart, right? This is something very, very important for you to keep in mind. Now, when I talk about the components of GS, GS includes Indian history, geography, economy, polity, environment, science and technology, international relations, and current affairs, right? Let me repeat the components for you. Indian history. Indian history includes ancient India, medieval India, modern India, and part of post-independence India as well. So Indian history is one component, which is like ancient India, medieval India, modern India, post-independence India. Then we have polity, the constitution and the related things, geography, economy, science and technology. Then we have environment, international relations, and finally we have current affairs. So these are the broad components of your paper 1 GS. Then paper 2 CSAT, it is like mental ability, logical reasoning, data interpretation, and English comprehension. these are the major components of your CSAT paper. So you sit for this exam usually in the month of May or June, and this year the exam 2021, the exam is on 27th of June, right? So on a given Sunday you sit for pre, and in the pre you sit for two papers in the morning and evening, GS and CSAT. Out of this 400, 200 marks are only qualifying. Out of the remaining 200 you get your merit and you get the call for your mains. Now the question is that how much is the merit here? What is the cutoff? So usually the cutoff remains from 49% out of 200, 49% to 63%. 49 to 63%. That means never we have seen the cutoff going beyond 126 or less than somewhere around 97, 98 marks, right? So out of 200, 97, 98 is the minimum, and maximum has been 125, 126. Now that means you are not required to know answer to every question. It is not required. What is required? You should have reasonably good information and knowledge, and your recall must be like very swift. The most important thing for recall is multiple revisions. If you do multiple revisions, anybody can complete this syllabus in a given 7 to 8 months time. Anybody, including you. Even if you study for 3 hours a day, you can finish the entire syllabus in 7 to 8 months. I can promise you this thing that yes, you can complete it. But the story is that completion of syllabus is not the end of the journey. Multiple times, unless you revise the syllabus, you have no chance to qualify this exam. So the most important thing is multiple revisions of this like syllabus that you have covered in 7 to 8 months. That is all the more important. Now that you have qualified your pre, you enter stage 2, and stage 2 is your mains exam, which is a subjective paper where you have to write your answers. And when you start writing your answers, the papers that are here, paper 1 is essay paper. One paper is for essay, where you are required to write 2 essays, and every essay is for 125 marks. So 125 plus 125, 250 marks for 2 essays that you have to write. For every one essay, you will get 4 choices. Out of those 4, you have to write only one essay, right? And again, from other part, you will get 4 essays. You have to write only one essay. So 250 marks for your essays. Then there are 4 papers of GS, General Studies. Paper 1, 2, 3, 4 for 250 marks each. That is 1000. So 1000 for GS and 250 for your essay makes it 1250. Now, when I say GS 1, 2, 3, 4, what all is included in GS 1, 2, 3, 4? Paper 1 includes Indian history and world history, geography, and Indian society. Indian history and world history, geography, and Indian society. This is paper 1 GS for mains. Paper 2. In paper 2, you get constitution polity part, governance, and international relations. Along with it, there is social justice. So constitution, governance, international relations, and social justice. This is your paper 2. Paper 3. Paper 3 includes economics, then there is science and technology, then there is internal security, things like terrorism, Naxalites, and things like northeast insurgency, drugs, narcotic trade, money laundering, hawala transactions, things like this. And then there is disaster management. In paper 3, there is disaster management. So economics, science and technology, then we have internal security and disaster management. Finally comes paper 4. It is about ethics of civil services, ethics and aptitude of civil services. So these are 4 GS papers for 250 marks each, making it 1000. Along with it, there were 2 essays worth 250 marks together. So 1250. Now you have to choose one optional subject. It can be any optional, like it can be of your academics. Like if somebody has done, let's say, engineering, you can choose civil engineering as your subject, electrical engineering as your subject. You can go for physics, chemistry, mathematics. And do remember one thing, every optional is equally good. The subject in which you have interest, subject that you can prepare well, can get you your dream come true. It can make your dream come true. There is no one option which is 100% safe. Similarly, there is no such option in which nobody will succeed, right? Many institutions create a myth because the subjects that they offer, they always say that this is one of the best optionals. Nobody ever inquire about this thing in a way like, sir, if with option A, 500 people appeared, how many did clear the exam? The answer will be 100. Out of 500, 100 people cleared the exam. What about the other 400? They qualified their pre, they were quite intelligent, then they sat for their mains. Those 400 did not get their interview call, or perhaps could not qualify the interview because they could not score very well in their mains. Now where is the problem? The problem is in the wrong selection of an optional. They decided the option on the basis of listening to the stories by others, that this option is more scoring, this is better option, this is smaller in syllabus, and things like that. No, this is all a myth. The subject in which you have your interest is your optional, and you definitely will score very good if you continue with it. Unless you are not very sure that what is your subject, please do not ask anyone. They may make you fall in a trap, right? You have to take your own decision for optional, and your optional has to be your optional. And remember one thing, if something that you have done for 3 years or 4 years of your graduation, if you are not comfortable with it, how is it possible? And do you think it is easy to get comfortable with a new subject altogether and prepare it in 5 to 6 months? It is hell lot of difficult. It is very difficult. Let me be very fair and scared with everyone. So what we need to do is, firstly, we have to focus more on our academics. Unfortunately, if we are not sure that yes, we cannot go with the same subjects, now the humanity subjects come into picture. Subjects like sociology, psychology, political science, anthropology, history, geography, philosophy. Then there is an open list of subjects, and most of the engineering background students and doctors, medicine students, they opt for these humanity subjects, and then you can prepare well for them, and you can excel in this exam. So finally, coming back to the syllabus, paper 1 in your mains paper is essay 250 marks, then 4 papers of GS 250 marks each, making it 1250. And then there is one optional subject, only one. Of this one optional, there are 2 papers, paper 1, paper 2 of the same optional for 250 marks each. So the optional is worth 500 marks. So in all, there are now 750 marks, 1750 marks, 1750 for your mains. Besides these papers like essay, 4 GS papers and 2 optional paper, there is a compulsory qualifying exam of languages. Compulsory qualifying exam of languages. One English and one regional language. It can be Hindi, it can be Punjabi, it can be Tamil, Telugu, Malayalam, Assamese, any language, Santhal, Bodo, any language that is mentioned in our constitution, right? Any of those languages, you have to appear for a qualifying exam. You have to just clear the exam. There is no need to score 50% or 60%. You have to score about 30% in this, and that is it. So once you qualify this exam, then comes your final stage. Stage 3 is your interview stage. When you appear for your interview, let me tell you 2 things today. One, it is not the test of your knowledge. It is the test of your personality, that how confidently and comfortably you carry yourself on that day. Two, when people who are like already in job, they appear for this interview, the interview board is always more impressed with their commitment in life, with their realistic approach in life. The interview board always and always, this is a track record. The interview board is always more impressed with the people who have been already in job, who have fought against all the odds in life, and still have come such a long way that today they are sitting in front of them giving interview for IES, right? So this is the pattern of the exam. Now, when I talk about syllabus, I have already given you an idea. I will share this list with all of you. Once we are done with the webinar, you will get this entire slide. And besides this, I will send you another document in which all the books have been mentioned, that from which book, which chapter is to be read. So that in case somebody wants to go for DMAT account, I will invest my money at my own discretion and take all the risk myself. They can start doing through that self-study mode. those who want to invest in mutual funds under the guidance of someone who can, let them know that where it is less risky, how it can be covered comfortably, they can then opt for our courses, which I will explain towards the end. So this is like general science is there, Indian history, India and world geography, Indian polity and governance, economic and social development, and then we have environment, ecology, biodiversity and climate, and yes, the current affairs and international institutions for sure. Then there is comprehension, interpersonal skills in CSAT, logical reasoning, analytical ability, decision making and problem solving, data interpretation and basic numeracy. These are the things of CSAT, right? Mains, I have already told you, paper 1 G is essay, then paper 1 of GS is Indian history, world history, then we have geography, and we have society. Paper 2 we have constitution, we have international relations, we have social justice and governance. Paper 3 we have economics, science and technology, and we have internal security and disaster management. And then finally, paper 4, we have ethics and aptitudes, and then the optional subjects and language papers. So these are the various papers. Now we come to the basic or the essential book list. When we talk about this essential book list, most of the sites, most of the videos you see will tell you about the same things again and again. For polity, read Lakshmikant. For modern India, read Spectrum. For economy, go for Ramesh Singh, and the same things, right? When everyone is reading the same books, then why the success rate is so less? The answer is simple. One, people do not understand that not the books, but the essence of the book is more important. That how you read the book, how you make your notes, how you upgrade your notes, these are more important things rather than just reading the books. And how you start your journey is very important. So there are primary sources, then there are secondary sources, and then there are sources to add value to what you have done, right? Quality addition. So primary, secondary, and tertiary sources, we call them. So what are your primary sources? The primary sources are your NCERTs. NCERTs are the best. They are the best sources, right? You have to start your journey through NCERTs only. It will lay a very strong foundation for you, and you will become familiar with many of the things. Things will become easier for you, right? Things will become comparatively much easier for you. So there are NCERTs. Now, how we have to read NCERTs? It is not that I pick up any random NCERT and start reading it and making notes out of it. No, there is a way of doing the things. Let me show you something today here. There is one book of history, class 6. The name of the book is Our Past Part 1. Class 6, Our Past Part 1. Then there is a history book in class 12. The name is Themes in Indian History Part 1. Themes in Indian History Part 1. This is for your class 12th. And then there is another book. The book is 11th class Fine Arts book. 11th class Fine Arts book, right? So now let us have a look here. When I look at class 6 book, right, there is a chapter in the earliest cities. Chapter 4 is in the earliest cities. What were the earliest cities? These were the Harappan cities. Chapter 4 talks about Harappan cities, right? Then I go to 12th class book. The first chapter is Brick, Beads and Bones, the Harappan civilization. I will start reading Harappa from class 6, and then I will read it from class 12 together, right? I will start from the very basic class 6. I will add the next level from class 12, and then look at 11th class Fine Arts book, chapter 2, Arts of Indus Valley. Now, if I read these 3 chapters together, from class 6, I read chapter 4, from class 12, I read chapter 1, and from class 11, I read chapter 2. My Indus Valley civilization has been covered from NCERTs in one of the most comprehensive manner, in an integrated manner. And when I make notes like this, these are the notes that serve the purpose, not that I just read the books and marked them and threw them away, or perhaps I made every new topic on a new page and there is no integration of the things in it. That is very dangerous, right? Now, I will give you another example from the same book, and then we move to the other topic, right? So look at this. There is chapter 7 in class 6, chapter 7, class 6, new questions and ideas. It is about Buddhism and Jainism. Buddhism and Jainism. Chapter 7, new questions and ideas, class 6. Then look at class 12, theme 4, thinkers, beliefs, buildings, cultural developments. This again talks about what? It talks about your Buddhism, Jainism, and the related things. Then move on to class 11th book, Arts of Mauryan Period and Post-Mauryan Trends in Indian Art and Architecture, chapter 3 and 4. So in class 6, I will read very basic about Buddhism, Jainism. In class 12, I will add more value to it, that what were the basic teachings of Buddhism, Jainism, how it brought about a cultural change in India, what were the political implications of this and everything. And then in class 11th book, I will get information about their respective style of art and architecture. When I bring the three things together, I have completed a very integrated and a comprehensive note for me to revise from. Now when I revise that handwritten note, I revise three NCERTs together. That is what I mean by making smart notes. This is how you can make your own better notes. I will provide you the detailed list like this, from which class, which book, which chapter is to be read, if in case you want to go for self-study. But if you understand that someone is required to hold your hand, to constantly guide you, motivate you, monitor you, evaluate you, then yes, we are there. And we have a very specific course for the people who are in job, so that they can prepare and can live their dream, right? So now look at class 7. If I look at class 7, there is chapter 3, Delhi Sultans, chapter 4, Mughal Empire, right? Chapter 4 is Mughal Empire. Now let's take an example from this. Chapter 4 is about Mughal Empire. Then I go to class 12, part 2, right? And when I go to part 2, in class 12, there is theme 9, Kings and Chronicles, Mughal Courts, right? So I have a chapter in class 7 on Mughals, I have a chapter in class 12 on Mughals, and then there is, here we have some aspects of Indo-Islamic architecture, chapter 8 of class 11. In this Indo-Islamic architecture, we will read about the Mughal art and architecture, how Taj Mahal and Red Fort were made and things like that. Fine. So class 7 is there, class 12 is there, and class 11 is there. I bring them together and make one comprehensive note. This is about your history part. Now look at geography. Class 6, 7 and 11. There are chapters that you can bring together from 6, 7 and 11. I will give you a detailed roadmap for this, a layout for this. Then there are chapters in class 6, 9th and 11th that are to be integrated. 6th, 9th and 11th. Similarly, there are chapters in 8th, 12th and 7th class which are to be integrated. Once you start integrating your notes, I promise you, you will make the best of the best notes. Once you start revising these notes, you will be revising multiple sources together. And that is the way you can always go for this exam. This is the only way. This is the only way you can qualify. Then you look at these polity things, right? Class 11th and class 9th, how you have to bring the things together, how you have to read it for better understanding, right? Class 9 and class 11, class 9 and class 10, there are things which are in common, right? Look at this, class 9th, what is democracy, why democracy, and class 10, chapter 3, democracy and diversity. So you bring things together and make a more organized form of a note, which when you start revising makes a better sense and better understanding. So here is that essential book list that I will share with you, all the important books which are required. But remember, the primary sources are always your NCERTs. Then there are multiple sources for current affairs. There is Hindu, there is Express, Business Standard, Hindu Business Line, Live Mint, Wire, and Press Information Bureau. I understand that when we are doing job, how is it possible for us to read all these things ourselves? So here today, those who are attending this webinar, we have almost 500 students attending the webinar now. So for all of you, from our side, there is a very sweet, small gift, a very small gift for you. From today onward, we will provide you all with the current affairs summaries so that you can revise them every day within less than 45 minutes. We will provide you with the summaries of newspaper. How you will get the summaries? You have to just join our Telegram group. The Telegram group name is Free Study Material for IAS with Raj IAS. Free Study Material for IAS with Raj IAS. Join the Telegram group and you will get every morning the current affair right summaries. In less than 9 to 10 pages, you will get the entire essence of current affairs. Besides this, there is another gift for you guys. Please note down my mobile number. This is my personal number. It is 98147 98147 11661. 98147 98147 11661 11661. Right? Those who now think that yes, they should go for it because it is doable, but with a plan, with a strategy. So what I will do, I will share with you current affairs of last 1 year 2020 entire year in less than 300 pages. I will share it with you so that you can start reading it. Besides that, I will share with you some other important sources so that you can start your journey, right? So those interested can WhatsApp me. I will send them link to all these on the WhatsApp itself. Please no calls because either I am taking webinars or I am busy in my classes or perhaps I'm preparing for my lectures. So it is not possible to take your calls. But yes, whenever you send me a message, our student or not our student makes no difference. We will always love to help the UPSC students to the maximum possible extent, whatever we can do for you guys, right? So those interested can send me WhatsApp message on the number 98147 11661. And besides the newspapers, there are multiple magazines, and I promise you today that those who are serious, those who want to prepare well, we will provide them with the summaries of these magazines as well. We will provide you free summaries of these magazines in the Telegram group. The name of the Telegram group is Free Study Material for IES with Raj IES, right? Besides that, we deliver so many free lectures on our YouTube channel. The name of the YouTube channel is Raj IES, Raj Malhotra IES. Subscribe to our channel and we will provide you quality lectures complimentary. To a very large extent, we are trying to do maximum things that are possible for free. But then obviously, who can better understand than you that yes, everything comes at a cost. We have to pay for the Zoom meetings, we have to pay to our teachers and blah blah. So yes, there are some paid courses as well, but they are not compulsorily for everyone. Those who have interest, those who can enroll, we always welcome, and we always try to do maximum possible justice to them, right? So otherwise, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, Raj Malhotra IAS. We provide multiple free lectures on our channel, and you can join our Telegram group, Free Study Material for IES with Raj IES, and you will definitely get multiple free study material things on that channel. Now let us look at this. A very simple question asked in 2020, but it becomes simple when there is someone who is there to explain you the things. You can get this answer from your NCERTs itself, but how, you have to understand it today. One common agreement between Gandhism and Marxism is Gandhi and Karl Marx, right? They are the two different personalities with two different ideologies. Gandhi was never a Marxist, and Marxist can never be a Gandhi. Why? Because Marx perhaps came much earlier than Gandhi. Then how could he even know about Gandhi? Though Gandhi came after Marx and Gandhi knew about Marxism. But then the basic difference and the basic similarity. The final goal of stateless society, this is one. Two, class struggle. Marx says that because the rich exploit the poor, there is always a class war. There is a class struggle. The poor always fight against the rich, and one day the poor will win and the society will be of the equals. We never find such a thought in Gandhiji's idea. Gandhiji will never talk about fight, struggle. Gandhiji will always talk about peace, right? Truth, things like that. Then to abolish private property. Gandhiji never said the property to be abolished. Gandhiji said the rich people should behave like trustees of the property. If you have read the word trusteeship and if you have understood the essence of trusteeship in Gandhiji's idea, you will always understand that Gandhi was never asking for abolishing the private property. Then economic determinism. Marx says everything is determined by economics. Gandhi never believes in this. So what is left? What is common? The common is final goal of stateless society. What Gandhiji says, that state is an evil institution, right? So we should aim for minimum state, minimum government, and maximum governance. Society, Gandhiji gave an idea of Swaraj, self-rule or rule over the self. When you read the things and there is someone who can make you understand the ideas, then you can very easily pick up the right answer. So the right answer to this question was A, final goal of stateless society. This was one example that yes, things are doable. One understanding, one lecture, and things will dramatically change. You will remember them. If somebody will explain you the things in a clearly and a lucid way, then you will not forget it in your exam. Then there is, with reference to history of India, the term Kulayappa and Dronavappa denote class 6 NCERT. Direct, there is a line in class 6 NCERT. This is answer is A, measurement of land. That's simple. It is given in class 6 NCERT. I was surprised when I saw this question this year. Then the term West Texas intermediate, sometimes found in news, refers to the grade of, answer is A, crude oil, and it was there in the newspapers during the months of April and May, right? There was so much of it in the news that yes, I was telling my students, you can expect this question in the exam, and there was this question. See, so yes, you read the newspapers regularly, or we provide you the notes for the newspapers. We highlight these words that these are important things. You read NCERTs and you find questions. You read good books, you find questions. There is a teacher who can explain you. You understand the logic in the question and you always attempt it right. Right? These are some of the examples for pre. Now, when I look at mains the last year only, critically examine the role of WHO in providing global health security during COVID-19 pandemic. Very expected question. Because of COVID, the things which were in news, they ask a question on it. So if you have read the newspaper, multiple editorials or the summaries that we provided, we have given you an idea that how this answer is to be written, right? So forget about this because this requires a lot of technical understanding. Let's look at the other question, history question. Right, evaluate the policies of Lord Curzon and their long-term implications on national movement. Forget everything else. Forget everything else. Just one example, and you will remember your childhood history, and you will then remember that yes, a single factor can change the entire course of history, and you can write a beautiful answer around that event. So if I forget, if I remember nothing else about Curzon, I will always remember one thing. It was Curzon who partitioned Bengal in 1905. Partition of Bengal happened during the time of Lord Curzon in 1905. Now that Lord Curzon partitioned Bengal, the entire national movement changed. The Congress turned from moderates to extremists, right? Ballal Pal came, Savdeshi movement started. The Savdeshi movement will then become Gandhian movement, right? So moderates were taken over by the extremists. Savdeshi movement started. Then revolutionary trends became very, very active. Anushilan Samiti, Abhinav Bharat of Maharashtra, Anushilan Samiti in Bengal, Yugantar Samiti, right? Dhaka. There was so much of revolutionary activities. The entire freedom struggle changed. With Savdeshi movement, the women participation also started, right? Sarla Devi Chaudhrani and those things. So when a teacher will be explaining you in the class, he will be telling you that this is how Curzon came and this is how the freedom struggle changed, right? So everything is doable, everything is possible. If you have that determination, if you have that will in you, who can stop you? And you know the beauty of the thing, you are already in job. You have nothing to lose, right? You have both the hands to grab the things, nothing to lose. Continue doing your job, right? In the evenings, devote 2 to 3 hours, give 2 years to your preparation, and after 2 years, become an IAS and live your dream successfully. Be realistic, be committed, be passionate for your dream. And I tell you something, becoming an IAS is such a wonderful thing. It is not about just getting that authority, that power, that enigma associated with it. No, it is more about getting that authority to change the life of other people, to be meaningful. You would have been reading in newspaper a Kerala IAS officer working to recharge the underground water and things like that, they people have the authority, they people have that, uh, freedom, that space where they can act, where they can bring change in the society. So please, if you have ever thought of it, don't let the dream die unnecessarily. Please try to focus on it once. You can do it. It is possible. It is doable. The only thing required is hard work, determination. And if you give your 2 years, you will never repent. You will never repent. You will end up being a successful person in your life, a person who can change the life of others as well. Right? So with this, now let me tell you what plan we can make for you. The plan that we have for you: from 27th of this month, we are starting our new course. It is 1 year full course, live on Zoom, 5 to 8 p.m. But many people who are working, they cannot watch it live. So for them, it is a recorded course. We are providing a recorded course for them, right? You can watch the lectures anytime at your comfort. It is 1 year course. The entire syllabus will be covered in about 10 months along with test series. We will send the hard copies of our notes to your homes, right? Wherever you stay, we will courier our notes to you. We will provide you with all GS material, all test series, everything. And the cost of the live classes is 65,000. But in case you opt for recorded sessions, you get 20% off on it. That is 52,000, right? 52,000 you have to pay in 2 installments, 26 now, 26 after 2 months. And remember, this 52,000 you are investing in a mutual fund. In 2 years, you will get the reward of this investment. You will get your dream turning into reality. So those who want to enjoy this journey, the journey of becoming knowledgeable, the journey of becoming successful, and without having any risk. Students who are not doing jobs, who are 24, 25, 27, 28, and still preparing for IES, they have that burden on their minds that we are not yet settled. People are after them. 25 साल के हो गए, 27 साल के हो गए, कब लाइफ शुरू करोगे, कब शादी करोगे, and blah blah. You are already in job. Nobody is asking you that when you will start earning. You are already earning. Now just take the next step. You have taken the first step in your life. You have got a job. Now grab your dream. And I promise you one thing: in the recorded lectures, you will get one of the finest qualities you would have never seen. I trust you that to trust anyone through one webinar is next to impossible. For you to gain that trust, we offer 5 days of trial. Once you pay 5 days of trial, and in those 5 days, if you find the quality of the classes or anything that we promised, we committed, we failed to deliver it, 100% refund, no questions asked. 100% refund, no questions asked. So those who are interested, this is the time for you to start acting now. Don't wait, because dreams will not wait. If you cross that threshold of your age bar, like 32 is the age otherwise, right? If you cross it once, you can do whatever you want to do, but you will never get to live your dream. So here, with these words, I call it an end to the session, but promising you one thing: those who will take the step today will be the ones who will change not just their lives, they will get the authority to change the life of the millions around. And those who will still keep waiting, thinking, dreaming, and delaying, they have no one else to blame but for their own callousness, their own slipshodic attitude that yes, we got an opportunity, we could have done it, but we are happy what we are doing. We do not want to do anything bigger now. We are satisfied what we have got. But if in case there is contentment, that is more important. And I congratulate those who have that contentment and others who still have that fire burning. Here we are for you. In case you want to ask anything beyond this, please feel free to send a WhatsApp message or SMS to me. I would love to help you guys all. Right? Thank you and best of luck to one and all. God bless you all. Take care. Bye-bye.